Yes, mate. Wanted to do a video review on L405, which in my opinion is the best car in the world. Basically for the fact that you're getting so much bang for your buck. People do reviews online about best cars in the world and they show you a 400 grand Ferrari Purasang or Lamborghini Urus or something crazy like that. They never seem to take into effect what sort of money that you're spending on these things for saying it's the best car in the world. The best car in the world, in my opinion, is when you're getting you have to factor in the price you're paying for it, and for what you get for your money for these cars at the moment is just insane. I ran a L322 Range Rover for 12 years and I could have sworn that was the best car in the world. I've been watching these prices for a number of years and I bought one of these. I think I've had this for about 18 months now. And I love it. I love it to bits. My missus loves it. For the money I paid, this car was £135,000 new. I bought it 10 years old, full service history. It was in a pretty much immaculate condition. It's Autobiography. It's got an SVO kit on it. It's got everything that I wanted on it. And I paid just over 15 grand for it, which is just bonkers. So if anyone's telling you that you can get anything like this car for that sort of money, I think they're dreaming. I run 4 cars. I run a Ferrari in the summer, a Maserati Gran Turismo. I use a Jaguar XJ for like long trips or commuting or whatever. And this is my kind of the Labrador of the family, and I love it to bits. So there's probably a lot of people out there at the moment looking at the prices of these thinking that is an insane value. It is. I'll give you a quick buyer's guide of it. Things to watch out for, what kind of specs to get. In a nutshell, there's so much choice around for these cars that it's a buyer's market. People want out of them really. A lot of posh people that go on and spend, as I say, 135 grand on a car, and then after 10 years they just want to change, and they're flooded with them. People are scared of them because they're Range Rovers, which is just, it's not true. I've been reading too many idiots on the internet that have never owned one. But yeah, I mean, if you want one of these cars, just go for it, I think. I'll give you a quick kind of rundown of everything. You basically want an Autobiography without a shadow of a doubt. The extra grand or two that it's going to cost you, you'll get everything on it. So you get everything from heated seats, cool seats, massage seats. It's got every single toy in it as an Autobiography. They're actually built quite differently. The insulation inside on the Autobiographies is thicker than the Vogues and the Vogue SEs. So it's just little things like that make all the difference. It's got, you can spec up a Vogue. You'll see lots of Vogues and Vogues SEs that said they're spec'd up to Autobiography spec. They're not, because from the factory when they're actually built, the Autobiographies are built differently. They got different harnesses in them, so they got everything already fitted for it. So you can literally buy anything you want. You've got things like, you know, the deployable steps come as standard. Yeah. Let's see, it's got like Autobiography in the headrest and things. Every conceivable extra on it as standard. Panoramic roof. You can still go extras on this car. I made sure I wanted a leather headliner, which is a nice bonus. I wanted one kind of quite rare feature, which is a fuel burning heater, which is for winter time. You've got a separate fob on the remote. I'll show you that. No, that's the wrong keys. Got a separate remote on it that you can basically turn on a fuel burning heater, which effectively warms your car up on a cold winter's day, so that before you get out your house the car's already toasty warm, the engine's warm. I wanted that. I don't think that's standard on early model Autobiographies by the sounds of it, but I managed to find one with it. As I say, you only want ones with full service history. There's plenty out there that people have thrown money at. That's the car that you want. You want someone that's kind of really looked after it. Don't worry about the actual spec on it. So rather than the spec, the actual, like, you know, the colour, which things like things like this, door vents, the grille, colour of the badging, bumpers, all that kind of stuff you can fit relatively cheap yourself. Range Rover, I think people like Powerful UK do all of that stuff. If you're kind of fussy and say, I don't like the door handles on this, don't worry about it. Just as long as you get a well sorted car, you can do all that for relatively cheap. I haven't done anything to this car. As I say, it's got an SVO kit on it, which is slightly different than most, but I think you can pick them up for about 4 grand, which I know seems quite a lot of money, but if it's a make or break deal, I certainly wouldn't be buying one that you know hasn't got full service history or hasn't been looked after, just for the sake of getting a kit, just get one that's well looked after and then go and spend the money and get a brand new kit on it. It's not huge money. That's probably the most expensive thing. You can add deployable steps if worst comes to worst on it. But yeah, this car as well, I don't think it's standard on an Autobiography. Got the rear seat entertainment, which my kids absolutely love. They love this car for that. Huge boot. This is why it's the best car in the world. You literally, for what you get for your money, you're getting a car that you can use all year round. It's safe. I mean, if I'm going to take my family round, I want them to be safe. This car does that. It ticks that box as being a safe car to drive every day. It's also really good through the corners. You'd be surprised, even though it's a big car, through the corners, due to, if you get the 4.4, I'd only recommend getting the 4.4 diesel in the UK. Before I bought this, as I say, I had an L322 Range Rover for 12 years. I had a petrol on that, 4.4, and it was LPG converted. You can't really get LPG conversions on the L405 because it's direct injection. But before buying it, I kind of test drove the 3 litre, which is a V6, I think. You get a 4.4 V8, which is this one, and they do a 5 litre supercharge, which is a petrol. The 5 litre, I think it didn't sound as good as the old 4.4 on the L322. It drinks fuel like no end. I didn't think it personally suited the car myself. I normally get the fastest car you can possibly get in a lineup. As I say, you know, I drive kind of nice cars day to day. If I'm not driving this, I would have normally got the best one, but I wasn't that impressed by the 5 litre, I must be honest. For the fuel cost that you're going to pay for it, I think the 4.4 is better. It's a torquier engine. It'll go just as fast. I mean, it's not far off. You can get these remapped relatively cheaply. £200 you get a remap on this car, and it will absolutely fly. It's certainly fast enough. It certainly doesn't need any more. The 3 litres I steer very clear of. They've got notorious problems. It's basically an underpowered engine for the size of the car. I've got that engine in my Jag, a 3 litre diesel, which I use as like a motorway run car. If we're going on a long road trip, it returns like 50 miles to the gallon. You won't get that with a 3 litre in a Range Rover, but that's what I use on an XJ, Jaguar XJ. But it's all right for that car because it's not so heavy, but you'll get all sorts of crank snapping, things like that. Steer clear of the 3 litre. It's not the one you want. The mileage, the MPG rates for a 4.4 and a 3.0 aren't that significant, so you may as well go for the 4.4. It doesn't cost any more on the used market. They're the same sort of money. You'll get a lot better performance and a V8, and you know, as I say, it's not going to cost you much more at all, and you've got the maintenance reliability a lot better. There's plenty of different options you can get out there. I wanted mine with turbine wheels. I wanted it black. I wanted it with cream leather, which is exactly the same spec as my L322. I love it. And yeah, it's superb. I cannot recommend this car more than enough. I'll just give you a kind of go around so you can see it. I've refurbed the wheels myself, so when the car came, it came with a bit tatty wheels, which I don't blame them. Normally cars, if they come with tatty wheels, I steer well clear of them. It shows the condition of like how the previous owners treated them. But when you've got a car this big and the wheels are so kind of so big with low profile tires on it, it's bound to happen. So I didn't kind of hold it against the previous owner. I was more concerned about the service history on it, what else he'd done with the car, any faults. I'll kind of go into the video of kind of a bit later about what to do if you're looking to buy one. As I say, I want to try and get this as a kind of guide as well. If anyone who's looking to buy one of these and agrees with me that this is one of the best cars in the world, how to buy one, what to look for, how to kind of navigate problems, you know, that you know, worries, make sure you're kind of buying the right one. Yeah, beautiful car. Okay, let me kind of run down everything that's on this car, because there's a lot of stuff to go through, which is again why I love this car so much. So this is a 2013 car, I think it is. Mileage is 85,000 miles on it, which I think with a full service history, it drives like new. If you come to want to buy one of these cars, whether you're buying it privately, I always prefer privately myself. If I buy a car, I always prefer it privately, for a number of reasons. Really, you get to sound out the previous owner. You get to find out how well he's looked after the car, why he's selling it, any faults he's got, etc, etc. He's more open to letting the car be independently inspected before you buy it, and I think that's a must. Every single car that I buy, I always get independently inspected by a specialist garage. They'll cost you about 250 quid. You'll ask them and say, look, take the car up for a couple of hours. I want you to stick it up on a ramp, give it a good going over. Tell you know, they should know the common faults, but you can kind of tell them the common faults if you go and have a look on Facebook groups, Reddit, forums, things like that. Get them to do a test drive on it and get them to give a good run of the car through, just to make sure they're happy with it. I used a Land Rover specialist for it near the seller's home for this car. He took it for about 3 hours. I think I paid him around 250 quid, I think it was. Gave it a full clean bill of health. I put diagnostics in it, which I'd suggest buying your own diagnostics anyway, just in case you do have any faults with it in future. It's £50 an Hotel AP200, and you can diagnose your own faults. But he plugged in his one, checked it all over, gave it a full rundown, and was super happy with it. One little thing I always say when it comes to that is I always ask him to check the tyres, because tyres, if you've got a premium car, if you've got cheap tyres on it, it goes miles to show what kind of previous owner kind of looked after it. If he's got Accelera tyres on it, steer well clear, in my opinion. It just shows it's been run on a shoestring. But yeah, if you're buying it privately, get it checked out. Even if you're buying it from a garage or something, I would always recommend doing that. You're covering yourself. I don't personally get a warranty with it. If you want to buy privately and you're like, well, I'm not going to get a warranty, you can buy those aftermarket. But yeah, so this is kind of a rundown of everything it's got on it. As I say, it's got a panoramic roof on it, so you've got the kind of sun screens on it. If I turn this car on, you got the full retractable sunroof on it. Let me run that back. Go all the way back. You've got a sunroof in the rear, tilt slide sunroof on it. Yeah, all the toys for that. As I said, this car's got a leather headliner. This car's got a fridge, or what they call a cool box, on it. So you want to keep cool drinks. I personally never use it really, because I don't use the car that much in the summer, to be fair. But yeah, if you want to put your kids' drinks in there. It's got 4-way climate control on it. I'm not going to dox my address, but it's got a sat nav, which is all right. I tend to I use is Bluetooth audio. You can put Bluetooth audio through it. I put Spotify on my phone. It's wireless. It's as good as a CarPlay. I mean, it's 10 years old, but for the features you get on this car, it's just as good as modern cars, in my opinion. I've got things like Android Auto and CarPlay and like aftermarket systems on my Maserati. That one's spec'd up to be, there's no brand new car that has more features than the infotainment that I put in that. And this just does it fine. It's got park assist. So you can actually push the steering wheel if you want to do parallel parking. It'll steer itself, park itself if you want. The camera's on it. Let me see in this. I got a low battery on it. But you got like junction view on it. I'll just be careful not to kind of put my address on it, because you don't want to see that. The audio on this car, this has got a super premium audio thing on it. So when I bought the car, you can actually speak to Range Rover themselves, and they do, I think it's called the Topics or a Modus check, which basically gives you the build sheet from when it was brand new. That gave me a full list. They print it off. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. They give you that as a service history as well. So if you're buying the car privately, you can see exactly what the car has got on it. As I say, you can see the cameras on it. It's got cameras on wing mirrors, every corner. This one's actually broken, but not that I care too much about it. You can replace that for about 200 quid if you look online. I think it's had a sort of stone chip to it. But yeah, it comes with everything that you want on it. You check that Modus thing, it'll tell you. This has got the super sound system on it, which is sublime. I've never seen a car stock that has this stereo from it. The sound quality, obviously you're not going to hear it through your TV or your phone or whatever you're listening on here. It is sublime. I normally, as I say, upgrade sound systems. That thing, just the sound on it's loud as anything. If it's the summer and I'm out driving, I like to have loud sounds. This car doesn't even need it. With the super premium system, it is the best sound I've ever heard in any car. I've had loads of cars. I've had AMGs, Ferraris. I've been in like Lamborghinis, Bentleys, everything like that. This car just ticks the box on every single thing. You've got heated and cool seats, massage seats. You've obviously got the suspension goes up and down, so if you're going kind of off-roading, not that I ever would do, but even if you go to a safari park, jack it up, you're getting a better view than anyone else in a safari on it. It's got a speed limiter, which is great, 50-mile-an-hour zones. You push that, set it to 50, 52, and then you're never going to go over the 55 limit on it. Digital dash is standard, 10 years old, heated steering wheel. This car goes like stink just from 4.4. It's a torquey engine. It's a great engine for the car. It's the miles per gallon on it. On a run, you can get up to about 40 miles to a gallon on it, which is insane for a car this heavy. I tend to get, if I'm booting it round town, you can get as low as at about 14 miles to the gallon on it, but that's rare. That's me when I'm absolutely flying on it. But for a car this size, the economy you get with the 4.4 is great compared to what the power you get. It's not underpowered whatsoever. But it's super. With a remap on it, it goes even faster. As I say, it's comparable to the 5 litre in my opinion. You certainly don't need a faster car than what it's got on it. This car's, as I say, it's a 2013. I think this one is. They did a facelift around 2015, 2016. I didn't spend the extra and get one a bit later than that. Again, this car seemed to be absolutely perfect for my needs. It ticked every single box. If it was the same sort of money or a couple of grand more, I probably would buy a 2015. You get an upgraded stereo system with it. You also get a very minor facelift on the outside. I mean, I hardly can tell the difference on it. But yeah, those later cars are slightly better, really, because they've got a cheaper tax. So in the UK, this car tax is the only real bad thing that really hurts on it. It's about £700. It's the same as any performance car or any decent car. It's about £700 a year, which stings. But the later ones, because they got start-stop on it, I think are around £500. So you're going to save a couple of £100 on it. Whether or not you think that's worth the extra couple of grand to spend on it, maybe not. I didn't bother with it. Obviously the later ones are ULEZ compliant as well, so that's a benefit if you live in a kind of a city. I mean, if you want, you're scared. People get scared with Range Rovers. They say, oh yeah, I couldn't drive a Range Rover, I'd be worried the whole time about it. I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think there's such a good community online that you can get any problems. They tend to be common faults on them, if little things. If you're buying it and you're putting it through a PPI, you shouldn't need to tell a dealer this, but the things to watch out for really are cracked knuckles. So on the top of the suspension arms there was a recall on certain models, but you get cracked knuckles. Just ask them to check that. It's quite a rare issue, I think. It's not terribly common, but people get cracked suspension upper knuckles, and that needs replacing. I think if you were to pay for that for an independent dealer, it would probably cost you a couple of £1,000 to do that. So it's worth checking if you're buying one second hand to do that. The other things I would say is make sure they check for any oil leaks. Any oil around the EGR, any oil cooler leaks. Again, they're not the end of the world, but they're expensive problems you don't want to inherit from a previous buyer. The only other thing really worth checking out for, any thumps when it's reversing or pulling off of like a left or right hand corner, that can tell you that your transfer case is on its way out. Again, not too common of a problem, but something you want to check out. And finally, if they look underneath on these 4.4s or the 5 litres, they've got an active roll bar system which makes them corner superbly, much better than the 3 litres. It's really corners well for the size of the car, but make sure those pipes aren't leaking at all. There's pipes, it's like a hydraulic system underneath the car. Just make sure those pipes aren't leaking at all. Parts can be a bit of a pain to get, and again, it's one of those things where you think, you might think, oh, it's just a little bit of oil, it's fine, but then again, you're going to get a couple of £1,000 bill further down the line to fix it. So if you check those, they're generally bulletproof. They're very complex cars. As I say, people got a bad reputation, say, oh, you always get faults on a Range Rover. You do. It's got so many toys, so many features on it. You are going to get more faults than a Ford Fiesta on it. But that's to be expected, right? It's how it is. At least you're not going to a Bentley garage and having to fork out for Bentley servicing the whole time. There's lots of 4x4 specialists that are well happy to work on this. The only other thing really to mention on it is the service. There's 10 years Land Rover, as part of their maintenance schedule, do a big service. Now, if you are buying one that's 10 years old, which I'd recommend, I mean, the ones which are about 2017, 2018, yeah, you're going to spend a good chunk more money on it. I don't think it needs it really. Get a well-sorted earlier one. But if you are buying one that's 10 years old, make sure that 10-year service has been done. It basically changes every fluid on the car. So everything from gearbox oil, transfer case oil, diff oil, obviously engine oil, etc. You want that big service to be done. If you are buying a 10-year-old one and you're buying it privately or even from a garage, factor that into the price and say, look, it needs a big service. There's a 10-year service coming up. Some people get scared of that and kind of sell off that. Again, that's why there's more in the market. They think, oh, it needs a big service, I'll get rid of it so someone else has to pick it for that. It's not too expensive through an independent garage. You want an independent garage to look after this car, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be a specialist, but a good local garage will do all that. It won't be anywhere near what Land Rover are charging at a couple of grand for that. I think I did actually mine with a mate, but even for just all the materials on it, I think it was about 200 quid for all the fluids. Me and a mate did it. It's all straightforward. There's plenty of guides online to tell you what to do. Sign up to the Facebook groups, go on to Reddit, things like that. But yeah, that's effectively the whole car. Yeah. I don't think there's any questions. If there is, just drop me a comment and I'll answer any questions for it. So yeah, that's about it. If you like my videos, give me a subscribe, give me a like, give me a subscribe. I'm trying to get wider audiences onto my videos so I can kind of share this information with people, because I got nothing else better to do in my day. I do my videos in my flip-flops because that's how professional I am. But yeah, if you like my kind of stuff, give me a subscribe, give me a like. If you agree with me, disagree with me, drop me a comment. I don't think I'm wrong. If you disagree with me, you probably are wrong. So yeah, let's argue it out on the internet. But yeah, thank you all. I'll try and come back with some more videos of the cars that I think are some of the best cars in the world, but I don't think you're going to get better for this. For what you get, your bang for your buck. This is as good as it gets. Thank you all.